dun, chugga, chugga, dunga, dunk, dunk. Boom, boom, boom. There's nothing I can say, nothing I can do. Change your mind, and I'm so in love with you. I'll be your savior, steadfast and true. I come to your emotional rescue. It's too early. I'm trying to hit those high notes. Good morning. Happy Thursday. And welcome to your day. We're gonna greet the day with some gratitude and some patriotism. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins. Make sure you finish your vegetables. And give your mama a hug and a kiss and say, thank you, mama. How are you? Doom, 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 doom. Emotional rescue. I will be your knight in shining armor, riding across the desert on a fine Arab charger. It's 5:05 a.m. First thing in the morning here at Live and Learn, the Morning Gratitude Show. We're going to start off our day with a little bit of gratitude and a little bit of patriotism. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My country, 'tis the sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land of the pilgrim's pride, land of where my fathers died. For every mountainside let freedom ring. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. All right, good morning. Teach your children the Pledge of Allegiance, then the national anthem, and some patriotic old-timey tunes. Why not? That's how I learned. Welcome to Live and Learn. First thing in the morning, coming to you from Boston, Massachusetts, United States of America, North America, planet Earth, which is the third rock from the sun, and this, our very own solar system, which resides in the outer spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, which is in a local group of galaxies, which is part of an even bigger group called the Virgo cluster, which is included in a much even larger structure, a filament of different galaxies, of billions of galaxies, called the Laniakea supercluster. Inside of this, the known universe, which could be a member in, a tile in the mosaic found in the unfathomed, unplumbed, unmeasured, yet to be realized and visualized properly multiverse of all possibilities. That's right. Welcome to your day. It's time for Live and Learn, the Morning Gratitude Show. We start off our day, we organize our minds, hearts, and spirits with gratitude. It's a chilly morning. It is 39 degrees Fahrenheit. So I dressed in an extra thermal shirt and dressed in an extra thermal shirt and just decided to grin and bear it. You know? I didn't want my extra, my big old storm coat. It's literally going to be like 55 degrees when I'm coming home later. So like, why like burden myself with bundles? Grin and bear it. Who cares what you're wearing? From Main Street or Savile Row, it's what you wear from ear to ear and not from head to toe. It matters. But you're never fully dressed without a smile. This is from Annie. Not Little Orphan Annie. That was the newspaper funny strip. But Annie, the musical, based on the popular funny strip. Oh, here. Look. Train. Oh my goodness! Train overtaking passengers! Toot toot! Toot toot! How you like that? And how's your morning going? So we start off our mornings here on Live and Learn, the Gratitude Show. I have a method. I call it the Sully Foundation method. It's not the most traditional way to run a gratitude list, I've been told, through channels. I didn't receive any instructions or a method to do this. I just got the suggestion to try gratitude. And I did 5 years ago, and it's made the biggest difference in my life. I suffer from the chronic mopies, the chronic lonelies, and the chronic angries, and I have all my life. And this gratitude list has been the most successful coping mechanism in my toolbox of helping tools. That's right, gratitude. From gratitude, it gave me perspective. With that perspective, I could better see my purpose. And after that, I realized through the haze of anger and disappointment that there is a measure of peace beyond that all. And I'm so grateful and blessed. I really am. It makes you concentrate on what you have instead of focusing on what you don't have, what you're angry about, what's been taken away from you, what's been stolen from you, what you feel like it's been entitled to you, what's been broken on purpose by others, or maybe even you broke it yourself, or just maybe circumstances shattered that vase, you know. And we're working folk. We're the ones who get up at 5, at 3:30, 4 in the morning to be at work before, all the office people come into work. We're a working class city. We really are. We're blue collar. And I start off my gratitude list with what I call the foundation. And yours will be different. You can take my method and run with it, please. As long as you're just being grateful, and you can use gratitude as a helping force in your life, like it did with me. I'm still the same person, same bank account, same job, same shoe size. But what's different is my perspective, and I'm clearly not as negative as I used to be. So I am grateful and blessed for my family, my friends, my faith, my freedom, my health, my union job, a good night's sleep, a solid breakfast. The measure of peace that I've realized in being single after all these years. And also I'm grateful for my sobriety, however that falls in the grand spectrum of sobriety. I mean, sometimes it's great and sometimes it's downright terrible. But I remain grateful and blessed for the wisdom that comes with that, with the struggle and with the attempt to try to live a better life. Let's see, is the train coming? Oh, here comes the train. All right, let's get ready for this. You ready? And make sure you respect the yellow safety line. It's there for your protection. There's a pretty girl over there, but guess what? That pretty girl wants nothing to do with a man who takes the tea to work. That's right. Women believe in something called hypergamy. Hypergamy is the idea that they will only date and want to have pair bonds with men who are equal, and better yet, more well off. So that means for me to find a pair bond, I would literally have to probably hang out in like the government cheese line. All right, here we go. Let's commute. All right. Here we go. All right. Hey, the gang's all here. Let's commute. Here we are. It's Thursday. It's Thursday.
Next stop.
And one more day to the weekend. It's the first day of spring. Happy spring. It is. Your spring has sprung. It's time to do some spring cleaning. I ordered a new vacuum cleaner. It's the same vacuum cleaner that I had in my last apartment. I was going to bring it with me, but I figured, that vacuum cleaner had literally like years worth of that apartment's accumulated dust. I didn't want to bring that into my mom's condo. my sister Jill, my stepsister Jill, she said, like, you got to get a new vacuum cleaner. And I'm like, okay. So I've tried the vacuum cleaner that was there, and it works, but I think it lets out more dust than it keeps in. So it's got to go. So I was blessed and grateful to, find my the same exact model and color as my old vacuum cleaner, which is easy to clean, easy to, you know what I mean? And just now I can spring clean. I like cleaning. Seriously, I have a weekend. I'm blessed and grateful for a weekend. I've worked in restaurants and kitchens all my life, all my adult life. So having weekends and holidays off and having a stable schedule, I'm so blessed and grateful for.
Entering Quincy Center.
Yes. So I take time to, do chores. It doesn't take too long. Once it's done, it's done. And look, you've been constructive. Heck, it's also been like, such as the gratitude list is a tool in my toolbox of my coping mechanisms. Like one hack that I had for like beating back the sads and lonelies was like, okay, get up, be constructive, clean something, and keep cleaning until you're tired.
Entering
And
Quincy
then
Center.
after you've cleaned a few things, you look around, you've made a positive impact on yourself and your surroundings. Things are more organized, and you literally feel better about yourself and about your sitch. Because you're like, oh wow, look at my clean apartment, look at my clean room. I've put all my laundry away. I've made my bed. I vacuumed the floor. I cleaned the toilet. I scrubbed the tub. I Windexed all the mirrors and windows. The blades on the ceiling fans. Need a Swiffer. I did the laundry. Just go down the checklist. There's, also shout out to one of my best friends, MC, and we talk on this show about goings-ons and things, and sure, I say lots of stuff, and if I get pushed back on, so be it. That's part of it. Oh no, come on. Should I get out and push? And notice nobody is playing their smartphones without headphones yet. So yeah. So thank you, MC. We were talking about the politicization of
Next
the rescue
stop, Wollaston.
of the astronauts stranded on the International Space Station. Yeah. I looked it up on Grok and got some more information. I'm still of the opinion that it showed definitely a lack of willingness and readiness to rescue stranded astronauts. There didn't seem to be any kind of action plan. Like, oh, there's no backup rocket to just send up there and save people. We put them up there. Those are Americans. It's like ultimately the astronauts that were supposed to have the 8-day visit up there agreed to be half of the replacement crew, so it wouldn't upset the rotation of the incoming crew, because it takes a lot of training to run the International Space Station, and a commitment too. You're going to be up there for 6 months or a year, and so the teams switch out halfway through their time up there. So there's usually a 4-man crew, I believe, and they'll switch out 2 at a time. I think I've read Commander Chris Hadfield's book, and I've read Scott Kelly's book too, who are both astronauts on the ISS, both commanders of the ISS. And that shit fascinates me. I love space stuff. I love real space exploration. I love NASA stuff, Roscosmos stuff, ESA stuff, all down the line. I'm perpetually fascinated with what the Chinese are doing up there, because they're so secretive. I wonder if there has to be some kind of black book experiment stuff up there, such as conception in outer space. What would that look like? How would a human look after gestating and developing in the womb, in utero, in zero gravity? Would they look like David Lynch's Guild of Navigators? What would a human body look like on Mars? After a generation or two. Would they be taller, have less bone density?
Next stop, North Quincy.
And I think the Chinese or the Russians will certainly have done this. I'm not sure about NASA, and Americans, but we're capable of dirty deeds. And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Seriously. That you would take condemned prisoners up into orbit and find out, they just space them, throw them on an airlock, and see, okay, this is what happens to a human body and decompression when you throw them into space. I bet you there's shit tons of data about that. I don't know. I could be pretty macabre, pretty gruesome, and pretty grotesque. I love horror movies, and the historical execution methods have always fascinated me for some weird reason.
Entering North Quincy.
But yeah, I love the space. I love space administrations. I love, it's like my dream one day, not to just get to Mars, but to get out to the, and to explore the vast riches that could be available in the asteroid belt. But to get to Titan,
Nope.
which is a moon of Saturn, but Titan has an atmosphere and it shares Saturn's magnetosphere. So you're not going to get the same problems you will on Moon and Mars. Moon and Mars, anyone stationed on the surface of that planet, those planets, or those bodies, will be in danger of micrometeorites. That's the truth. It'll literally rain bullets. Yeah, that's going to happen. Not so much on Titan, though. It's something to think about. And also, lethal radiation as well. Exposure to radiation. That's a legit concern. How are you going to combat lethal radiation? Well, you have to pretty much your moon base or your Mars base is going to be underground in order to protect the crew from micrometeorites and also the harmful radiations that the atmosphere and the magnetosphere and the Earth's magnetic field protects us from. So we're going to have to travel all the way out there and spend all this money and expense and risk to become cavemen all over again. Isn't that ironic, don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day, free ride when you're already late. Oh man, I'm grateful and blessed for growing up saturated with not just science fiction but science fact. That I had like toys of the Saturn V, the Saturn V, its stages, the capsule at the top. And then I had a family that enriched me with knowledge and books. I was in the 20th century, the 1970s, and early 1980s when I was a small child, and I was just blessed to be given the gift of knowledge and education. I was a really smart kid. And it's a misty morning. And it's Thursday. Let's make it the best that we can. Just give your best effort. My anxiety's been okay lately, and I'm blessed for that. Really am. I'm out of gummies, and I'm blessed that I can, I'm gonna go to the dispensary after work and see what I can get. My brand, there are supply chain difficulties in getting the exact ones I require, so I'm gonna have to go out there and try something new. Wish me luck. I will not take indica. There are two major strains of cannabis, and you can consider it a spectrum, and there are poles in the spectrum. At your North Pole, it's sativa. At your South Pole, it's indica. There are hybrids and mixed and melanges in between, in potency, and so it goes all down the line. So sativa will get you high and peppy. Indica will get you stoned and like attached to your chair or your couch. And both have their places, both have their qualities. But I prefer, after being a stoner half my life, I prefer sativa. And that indica, recently in the past several years, contributes to my panic and anxiety disorder. So buttons. So live and learn, literally. That's all you can do. And I'm blessed and grateful that I have gummies. I'm blessed and grateful that we have dispensaries in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Last year, gross overall sales in 2024 were about $1.4 billion. About 20% of that goes to tax, is taxed. That means there are mom and pop shops, dispensaries, growers, distributors, all legal, all taxed, all tested. There's a whole new industry, and it's robust, and it makes a lot of money. And there's a lot of competition, and competition really does help products be really good. This is part of the good side of capitalism. so bad. And since my mom passed away of lung cancer,
Entering
I don't
JFK
combust and I
UMass.
don't inhale my cannabis anymore. I used to love smoking weed. The smell, the taste, the ritual of rolling up a joint, a jibba, as my stepdad says. He's from Lynn, the city of sin. Never walk out the way you come in. Lynn, the city of sin. God bless them. The Hopkins are great people. Blessed to have them as my family. You know, just like the social aspect of it, you know, pass the joint to your left, puff, give. You know, a bong, a pipe. Yeah, there's a social aspect to it. There really is. It's kind of ancient. But, you know, the older we get, we gotta watch out for things.
Next stop,
And I'm just blessed
Andrew.
and grateful that I found some gummies that work for me and with me. One of my best friends, Pete, he, after my mom died, went to the dispensary and gave me, he bought me some gummies. Is what he takes. He's like, here, try these. And I'm like, I don't take gummies. He's like, fuck you, just try them. And he was right. They worked. They were good stuff. And so that's my brand now. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, and however you identify in the grand spectrum of humanity, it's my childhood bedroom. And the Mary Ellen McCormick Housing Development, formerly known as the Old Harbor Projects. Old Harbor. Will be coming into Andrew Station, where I fully expect that that's when you'll start getting the people without headphones. Shit, I was on the bus yesterday, and it's like there are 3 different fucking people enjoying their sounds. Heck, I went to a restaurant for supper yesterday, and there's some dingy broad at the bar. And I'm like, the house is already playing music. I really want there to be like, bars and restaurants need to have a rule like, excuse me, you need to wear headphones or not put that, because you're annoying other customers, and the house is already playing like a music source. We don't need that. Nobody wants to listen to your stuff. Mind your own business. Keep it to yourself. Nobody wants to listen to your stuff. No, you're under the wrong impression. You're an entitled jerk for doing that to people. Seriously. But what I do to combat it, there's a heavy metal song I play. I got it bookmarked on YouTube. It's called Slayer. And they're so loud. And they're a good metal band. So I play Slayer all the way up to 10. It's called
Entering
Disciple from
Andrew.
the album God Hates Us All. That came out on September 11, 2001. It was that we got, I think that, ironically enough. And the chorus is God Hates Us All. And it's like, well, I mean, if you can do it, why can't I? I can be an asshole too. Easy, you know?
No smoking, please.
No smoking, please. Seriously. It's wintertime. The crackheads take refuge in the subway stations and cars. And I've seen crackheads smoking weed. Not even weed. It's got to be like meth or fentanyl or crack or whatever it is. And it's like imagine if like you caught a whiff of that, like a contact
Next stop,
high,
Broadway.
the secondhand smoke of that, like, ugh. But sanctuary cities, yays, yaysies. I don't have answers. All I have are more questions. Such as, should I get out and push? I seem to be traveling at a snail's pace. But yeah, it's Thursday. I'm grateful and blessed for lots of things. I start off with my foundation. From there, I build on it. And it's really helped. With the foundation and repeating the foundation, it's given me the mental, spiritual, and emotional muscle memory in order to pull off doing the gratitude list and making it stick and getting the end result of its benefits. It's nice. It really is. Well, it's time to wrap up the show. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning to Live and Learn, the Morning Gratitude Show. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We're a growing channel, hoping to break 2,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. I'm a YouTuber, so I'm under the belief that we're only one video away from that breakthrough. You know? Smash that like button, turn on those notifications, leave a comment. Any or all of these helps the algorithm suggest this little show to anyone that might need it, that might need to hear it. And I know it's had a positive impact on a few people. I've heard it, and I'm so like, wow, that's impressive. So stay grateful, stay blessed, God bless, namaste, good luck. And we will see you with more videos. All right, bye-bye.